first off, I want to apologize for the error that I made. Not anybody else. This is the error that I made for Friday's Leaf Lumber Baseball. This was the 10-box case, 30-spot random team break. Don't be mad at Josh. Don't be mad at Anthony. Don't be mad at anybody. If you want to be mad at me, be mad at me. Don't be mad at anybody else. We did a random team break of an unlicensed product, which is unacceptable. I made it a random team break. It shouldn't have been a random team break. It should have been random card or random box. This was all on me. So basically, long story short, you know how these cards are. They have jerseys, but you can't really tell like
even if you can tell it's not licensed.
And like even if like for example Joe DiMaggio played on the Yankees majority of his career, we all know that, but like you can't go by the jerseys. Every break that we do, we go by the logo that is on the card. So for example, this would go to the Orioles. Every card that we give away, it has to go by either the logo that's on the jersey or the team that is listed in the city. So like Panini Baseball, you won't see logos, but if you pull a Jackson Holiday, it'll at least say Baltimore. Won't say Baltimore Orioles, but it'll at least say Baltimore, for example. These cards do not say New York, Baltimore, Cleveland, anything. Cincinnati. They don't say anything. And you cannot go by the jersey. So in turn, you have to. I credit to Sean and Steve. I apologize for them having to do this pretty much for an hour and a half to 2 hours on Friday. They had to go through every card and basically go through and look at what players play the most games for their career. So for example, I'll just go through all the cards. Like Joe DiMaggio, simple, that's going to New York. Salvador Perez, this is a current card, so like Salvi still plays for the Royals. This would still go to the Royals. Next one, Eddie Murray. Eddie Murray spent majority of his career with Baltimore. Still going to Baltimore. I'm going to go through every card just for transparency, so this might be a little bit. Wally Moon, LA Dodgers. Johnny Bench, obviously, that's the Reds. The Musial, Ozzie Smith, Ted Simmons, Ennis Slaughter, Keith Hernandez, and Albert Pujols. All of these players played with the Cardinals for most games of their career.
Even Enos Slaughter.
Enos Slaughter, yeah. Dale Murphy, most games played. Atlanta. Cincinnati. This one's George Foster. What was the next one? Al Oliver. Al Oliver, most games played. Obviously, Pittsburgh. Harold Baines. That one's obviously the Chicago White Sox. Tom Seaver. New York Mets. Milwaukee. Paul Molitor. Obviously, most games played. Paul Molitor in his career. Milwaukee. J.D. Drew. Played for a few teams, but most games played. Boston. Next one. Ruben Sierra, 1 of 1. This I didn't even see this. This is a cool card, but Ruben Sierra, most games played. Texas. Ryan Sandberg, obviously you guys all know. Cubs. Ricky Henderson. Ricky Henderson, most games played. Oakland. All right. Tony Perez. This one's going to Cincy. Will Clark, most games played. San Francisco. And obviously, guys, I'm showing you the obvious ones. As we get further towards the end, you'll see there are multiple cards where it may look obvious, but we can't go off the jersey. We have to go by games played. So you guys will see what I'm saying. I know it sucks, but I have to explain it. Howard Johnson, New York Mets. Dwight Evans, Boston Red Sox. Don Drysdale, LA Dodgers. Jeff Bagwell, obviously, Astros. This one is Eddie Matthews, Atlanta. Bill Madlock, Pittsburgh. Tony Gwynn, obviously Padres. Mickey Mantle, Yankees. Dick Allen, Philadelphia. Luis Gonzalez, Arizona. This one's Scott Rowland. This is where we get into the gray area, because obviously you can make an argument that that may be a Reds jersey, that may be a Cardinals jersey. I mean, hell, it could be a Phillies. It could be a Phillies jersey. Most games played.
He did play for a lot of red colored teams.
This one, obviously, I know this isn't going to make a lot of people happy, but
Giambi.
you can assume what the jersey is there. But like I said, no logo, no logo, no city. Most games played was Oakland for Giambi. This one, Will Clark, obviously does not look like a Giants jersey by any means. But like I said, cannot go off the jersey. There's no logos. There's no city. San Francisco for the Jack Clark. Mookie Betts is the current, so that's obvious. That's Dodgers. Current players, like I said, we go by who they're playing for right now.
Jack Clark.
There's only a couple current.
Yeah.
Yeah, he meant. Yeah, you said Will Clark.
Okay,
he meant Jack Clark.
I meant Jack Clark. Yep. And then this one, these are cards that we have to random. I will be doing the random. Luckily for us, this first one, Reggie and Steve Garvey. This would technically be between Oakland and the Dodgers. The random, we don't have to do one for that because it is Patrick C for both of them. So that one is self-explanatory. This next one, you got Ernie Banks, Mickey Mantle, Hank Aaron, Frank Robinson. Ernie Banks with the Cubs, Mantle with the Yanks, Hank Aaron with Atlanta, and Frank Robinson with Cincinnati for most games played. So we do have to do a random for this one. We will do the randoms at the end when I'm done explaining. I know this is time consuming and I apologize to end the day on a sour note, but this has to be done. It's my fault, so I'm going to do everything, so don't worry about it. Next one, Craig Biggio, Ricky, Rod Carew, Lou Brock, Rafael Palmeiro, and Wade Boggs. Most games played. The Biggio's obviously Houston. The Ricky Henderson's Oakland. The Rod Carew is Minnesota. Which one was that? Lou Brock. Lou Brock says St. Louis. And then the Palmeiro's Texas. And the Wade Boggs is Boston. So we will random that off. What's next? This one, I know, believe me, as a baseball fan, this one's driving me nuts because you can obviously tell, but like I said, it's our standard here. We have to go by logos. We have to go by city name. None of that is on here. So by this one, we have to go Dave Winfield, it's the Yankees. Steve Garvey, most games played, it's the Dodgers. Tony Gwynn, San Diego. And Ken Caminiti is Houston. Good luck.
Thank you. What are you guys doing there? Oh, is that Steve's singles box?
No, not something not as fun. Next one, obviously.
Yep.
It looks like all Detroit, but it's a mix. So, and we can't, like I said, we can't go by team name. We can't go by logos. Ty Cobb, Miggy, Lou Whitaker, Kirk Gibson, Rusty Staub, Pudge Rodriguez. The first four, all Detroit. Then the Rusty Staub is the Mets, and then Pudge Rodriguez is Texas. This one's a doozy.
Oh, God.
So this one, actually, majority of them are in the correct jerseys, I believe. Except for one. Clemente, Pittsburgh. Musial St. Louis. Frank Robinson is Reds for most games played. Mel Ott is San Francisco. Mike Trout, obviously, Angels, current. Johnny Bench, Reds. Mike Schmidt, that is Philly. And then Barry Bonds is San Francisco for most games played. All right. Next one, Fred Lynn, Jim Rice, Ricky Henderson, Thurman Munson, Rod Carew, George Brett, Catfish Hunter, and Claudel Washington.
I don't have a horse in this race, but the last one actually said DET on the front.
So.
I might have been talking about that one.
They also have twos.
It does.
It does.
Yeah, it says
says
Detroit.
DET.
Yeah.
That actually says DET.
Yep, that one says DET on the bottom.
Patty, you might have saved us a random.
Save this one.
DET, that's technically Detroit.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Your call.
It's Detroit. Can I get a pen? No. Yeah, you would think. Alright, so that one is Detroit. This one is Detroit. It says Detroit. Well, not
Right there.
fully Detroit, but DET.
Yep.
So, there you go. This one, like I said, Fred Lynn, Jim Rice, Reggie, Thurman Munson, Rod Carew, George Brett, Catfish Hunter, and Claudel Washington. This one, obviously Boston for Fred Lynn. Rice goes to
Boston.
Reggie Jackson, Oakland. The Thurman Munson is the Yankees. Rod Cruz, Minnesota. George Brett, KC. The Catfish Hunters, Oakland, and the Claudel Washington. Yes, I know, but still, most games played is Atlanta. And then, what was this one? Oh yes, the Bat Rack. This one is actually, I believe, all right. So Duke Snyder, Yaz, Eddie Matthews, and Willie McCubby. This is Willie Matthews, San Francisco. Atlanta for Eddie Matthews. The Carly Stremski is Boston, and then the Duke Snyder is the LA Dodgers. So I checked that pads one too. Which one? Oh yeah. I'll hold it up. I do not see.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
It's just Mount Crushmore. And then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Padres one does not say SD, unfortunately. Obviously, like I said, guys, I know a lot of people are going to be pissed off at this video, rightfully so. I completely get it. But we got to follow our standards. It didn't have team names. It didn't have logos. We couldn't go off of it. We can't just judge off of the jersey, because if we guess the wrong jersey, for example, I don't know, let's say
Scott Rowland.
Yeah, Scott
Any
Rowland.
of the Scott Rowland ones.
Scott Rowland.
There's,
Let's see.
what, 3-4 teams that he played for that all
Correct.
wear red?
Yeah, Scott Rowland. Where was it? Yeah. If we were to say Cardinals for this one, it could easily be the Reds. It could easily be the Phillies. So this is why we gotta cross our T's, dot our I's. Guys shouldn't have been in this position in the first place, because it shouldn't have been a random team break. So I apologize for that one. This one's on me, so I'm gonna be doing all the randoms. If you guys, seriously, if anybody watching this video from the break has any questions, please just email Box Breaks. I'll get back to you as soon as possibly can. This was my mistake, like I said. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. It was my mistake. It was not on Steve. It was not on Sean. It was not on Josh. It was not on anybody. It's on myself. I made the break. This was my setup. I'm gonna get us out of it. So let's run some randoms. So which one did we say was good? Okay, this one's good.
There's one, yeah.
Okay, so whoever has Detroit, which I believe is, yep, Edward A. So
Edward A.
I'll just bold Edward A. Stop it. So that one's good. I will go to random. Where'd you go? Oh, right here. Okay. So this is the list of randoms. Obviously, the Reggie and Steve Garvey, we already talked about. The person had both spots, so that one's Patrick C. What we'll do first, we'll run the random for the Ernie Banks, Mickey Mantle, Hank Aaron, and Frank Robinson. So let me go to the random. Roll the dice. 9 times. Alright, here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Alright, 9 times. That one's going to go to Tony W. Tony W. So, Tony W. We will bold you. Next one is for the Biggio, Henderson, Carew, Brock, Palmero, and Boggs card. All right, 7 times, 7 heaven. 7 times, here we go. 4, 5, 6, and 7. 7 times. That one's going to go to Edward A. Edward A. Go. Next one, we got the Winfield, Garvey, Gwynn, and Caminetti. That was the Padres lookalike card that we have to run this for. Dice roller. 7 times once again. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 7 times on the random. Mark H. Mark H. There you go. Mark H getting this one. And oddly enough, Mark H had the Padres. Unbelievable.
All that ends well.
We deciphered that the the Tigers card ended up saying
Who
DET.
wins Stavir Orangutan?
Obviously the Tigers card is a Tigers card because it says DET on it. So that's going to go to Edward A. And we got 3 more. Okay. So the next one's Clemente, Musial, Frank Robinson, Melott, Mike Trout, Johnny Bench, Mike Schmidt, and Barry Bonds. Take our names here. Random again. 10 times. Right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 times. 10 times on the random. Jake F. Jake F taking home that one. There you go, Jake F. So Jake F had the Red Sox. There you go.
Which had the most players on that? Besides the Athletics, never mind.
Oh, I'm sorry. I blew the wrong thing. That's the next one. There you go.
I was gonna say.
No, all good. Make sure. Yep, all good. All right. All right. Next one is Fred Lynn, Jim Rice, Reggie Jackson, Thurman Munson, Rod Carew, George Brett, Catfish Hunter, and Claudel Washington. Once again, let's run our random. Yeah, gotta roll it again. 8 times on the random. All right. And 8. 8 times. This one's going to Mark H. Mark H. All right. And our last random, 3 Patrick C's and a Jake F. So this is McCovey, Matthews, Yaz, and Duke Snyder. Let's run this random. 9 times on the random. Here we go. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. All right, 9 times. Patrick C. Patrick C. taking home that one. And that wraps up our randoms. So as you can see, the names are bolded with who is taking home these Leaf Lumber cards that we had to random off. I will go through them again just real quick. So as you can see, the McCovey, Matthews, Yaz, and Duke Snyder. That one is going to Patrick C. The quad is going to George Brett, aka Mark H, and the Royals. The next quad going to Jake F. This one going to the Padres. Oddly enough.
Ended up well.
Oddly enough, going to Mark H and the Padres. The baseball greatest hits. This one, where is this one? Biggio, right here. That one's going to Edward A. And then the Banks, Mantle, Aaron, and Robinson. That one's going to Tony W. There you go. Like I said, guys, I am super sorry for how that break ended up turning out. I know definitely not the best customer experience, and that's my fault. I take complete blame for that one, and I'm sorry that we had to go through this. For the next time we ever break Leaf Lumber, it'll probably be your next personal break. So,
Or a box break.
War box, we'll do a random box, we'll do a hit break, But there will be no more random teams of this, just so we can avoid that ever happening again. So like I said, deeply apologize. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, obviously, please just email boxbreaks@dacarworld.com, and I will answer everything as soon as I possibly can. Once again, apologize for having to end the day like this, but transparency is key with us, so had to make sure we got that done. Apologies for everyone in the break, but hopefully everyone has a great night, and take care.